Hi there, and welcome to the lesson W5.10 Celebrities and Their Pets, where we will begin using table basics. A document that contains a list of information can often be difficult to format and read. Using a table allows the writer to keep related information together so that the reader can quickly determine what is being communicated. Tables contain rows and columns that are displayed as cells similar to a spreadsheet. Rows run across and columns run vertically up and down, and the text inside them can be formatted with different fonts or alignments. Cells, or the individual squares made up of the rows and columns, can be shaded to highlight information, and cell borders can be formatted in various ways to make the table more attractive. In this lesson, you will create and format a table that showcases 20 celebrities who have pets and their pets' names. What we want to focus on in this lesson is how to insert a table, how to shade cells, rows, and columns, how to insert how to insert rows, and how to merge cells. So the first thing we want to do is create a new document. I'm going to come over here to Google Classroom and pull up that assignment, W5.10, using table basics. And we're going to go ahead and pull up a new Word document. So File, New Document. And we're going to come over here. And the first thing we need to do is save it. So Shift-Command-S. And we want to make sure that it is in our BIM Word folder. And then we're going to name it W5.10 Pets dash your last name and first initial. Once again, make sure it's going into your BIM Word folder and then say save. Once you're in, you want to come up here to the top of the document and put in your header with your name, your BIM period number, and then the date. I'm going to hit Shift-Control-D for date, hit enter, file name, and then I'll double click back down in the body, hit enter a couple times, and come back to the instructions. And the instructions tell us to create a table with 3 columns and 21 rows. And under the Insert tab, we're going to click the Table drop-down menu. So under the Insert tab here, we're going to look at the Table icon and its drop-down menu. So 3 columns is fine, but when we come all the way down here, we find out it only lets us do 8 rows at a time. So let's just go ahead and come down here to the Insert Table, and that way we can tell it exactly how many columns we want, which is 3, and how many rows we want, which is 21. We'll leave all this automatic, and then say OK. Once again, that was under Insert Table and Insert Table. All right, so here we have a table that has the 3 columns and 21 rows. And what we're going to do now is go ahead and type the information as shown here in your instructions. You're going to want to put in name of celebrity. And I hit tab to go to the next cell. Type of pet, and I hit tab, and then name of pet. Okay. And then you can hit tab again and you start filing it in. The first one is going to be Kylie Jenner. And it's a rabbit or bunny, and its name is Bruce. Imagine that. All right, and then go on down. Miley Cyrus. Okay. And cat. And so on. You just keep typing. And when you are done with that, you will have all this information listed in your table. So pause this audio until you have all that data plugged into your new table. And then you can come back to this video and find out how to finish the rest. So assuming that you have finished putting in the data into this table, you're going to apply the following formatting changes to the table. This is number 5 on the second page. Note, when working with tables, 2 additional command tabs will appear across the top of your document window: Table Design and Layout. So watch this. Here I am in a regular document, right? But the minute that I click inside the table, these 2 tabs appear: Table Design, and this should say Table Layout. You know why? Because there's a regular layout tab here that has nothing to do with tables. So Table Design, and then the layout that comes after it. But when you click anywhere else in the document that doesn't concern the table, those 2 tabs go away. All right? Those 2 tabs will give you additional formatting options when you're working with the table. So instruction number 5A says add a 1.5 border to all the cells. And this is how you do that. You select the entire table, okay? And then we know that we want to do borders, and that's under the Home tab. You can also go to Table Design. Let's just do it that way. You can do it under the Home tab. You can do it here under Borders. But under Table Design, you can also come in where it says Line Weight. And I think I need to pull this over. Borders. And let's go to, does it have line weight there? Oh, right there, of course. Line weight. And it says to do 1 1/4. So that's 1/4, and this is it 1 1/4? It's 1 1/2 point right there. Okay. So now you see you have a paintbrush here, but that just means it's ready to go. You can actually come back up here, because if you do the paintbrush, you'll end up having to go line by line. I like to just set it at 1 1/2 and then come up here to the borders and say all borders. And you see how that made those lines a lot thicker there. That took it up to 1 1/2 point. So now our instructions tell us that we need to center, align, bold, and italicize the column titles. Reminder, you can select the entire row with your cursor from the left margin, which is correct. You see how the cursor turns into an arrow when it comes out into the left? And that's how you can select the entire row. If you use your mouse to try and select it, it goes a lot harder. This is very quick and very efficient to select it from the left. So we're going to center align, and to do that, we just come back to the Home tab. It's a lot easier. You can center align using this center icon here. We're going to bold and italicize the titles of those columns. All right, next step, 5C on page 2. Shade the rows of the celebrities that have cats using the color of your choice. Be sure you pick a color that's light enough that you can read through it. So we look for the rows that have cats. Once again, I'm picking it up from the left, and then we're going to go to shading. Now there's 2 ways that you can do this. Typically, this is what you call highlight, and when you click on this, you see it highlights only the words. All right, so let me undo that. What they're wanting you to do when it says shade is to go over here to this paint can. See where it says shading? And just pick a color that's light enough to read through. Okay, and so let's find out who else has a cat. We have Taylor Swift, we know that. All right, so it looks like there's only 2. Oh, wait, Rita Ora. There we go. Bruno the cat. All right, so we have shaded the rows of the celebrities that have cats using a color of your own choice. All right, next up, insert a row above row 1 that is merged and centered with the text celebrities and their pets, bolded and italicized. So now it tells you how. Select all of the type row and then click on the table layout tab. So we're going to select all of the top row and then click on the table layout tab. And that's where I said it's tricky. Don't pick this one here. Table design, sure, but right after that is, see if I can get it to appear, this one right here. So layout, and you see there it gives you the option to insert below, insert above, and our directions said to insert one row above the first row. And that's why we selected it, because whatever row you select, if you say insert above, it will insert a row above whatever line you're on. So I select that first row and then I'm going to say insert above, and it puts another row up there. But then they also want you to merge and center that row. So once again, while I have that row selected, I'm going to come over here right next to the insert icons, right here where it says merge. And I want to merge those cells. I want to turn these 3 cells in this top row into one. So I'll just say merge cells, and you see it turned it into one. Then we're going to add the text celebrities and their pets. So celebrities and their pets. Make sure you capitalize titles always, all right? And because this row already had the formatting of bolded and italicized, it went ahead and copied that same formatting to the row I added above it. So right here, where they wanted you to bold and italicize, it's already done for you. And if it's not, then you just select it and go ahead and go back to home and make sure it's bold and italicized. Now it says insert a blank row between row 1 and 2 and merge the cells in that row. So if you want to insert a row between the two, that means you have to go to the lower row of the 2 because you want the next one to appear above it. Once again, I'll go back to this table layout tab. And now mind you, I can insert above, okay? And you see it gives me another row in between, okay? And then it says to merge the cells in that row. So I'll come back to this merge selection and say merge cells. All right. So we have merged the cells in that row. We selected them. We clicked on that and we're good to go. Now we're going to insert a row after the last row and merge the cells in that row. So insert a row after the last row. This is our last row. And instead of inserting above, we're going to insert below. And you see we come up with another row at the very end. And we want to merge the cells in that row as well. So we're going to merge them there. And in that last row, right here, we're going to type my favorite dog name on this list is, spell thing going on there, okay. And so I want you to look at all the dog names here. We can't count the cats, obviously, but we can look at the dog names: Esther Blue, Sirius Black, Buddy, Teddy, Pearl, Fox, Dubois, Nietzsche, Emmy, Harley, Princess Oreo, Kingston, Fitz, Elvis, and Jelly. So of those names, tell me which one your favorite is and type it in there, okay? So if it's Elvis, type in Elvis. If it's Teddy, type in Teddy. And then we're ready to finish the document. So you will need to, first of all, hit Command S to save. Then you'll need to go up to the Review tab, as always, and run a spell check. And you're going to hit some names that you can just ignore through. Just make sure that you have spelled it correctly off the list. Okay? Once you've done that, you can hit Command S again and Command W to close, and you will be ready to turn this lesson back into Google Classroom. Thank you for listening.